Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you do your homework. That's one take, mother. Sorry, bleep. Come on.
I don't know if it's gonna focus on you, but
Is it focusing on me? Practice does actually help. He warmed up for 2 hours before this. He was-
30 minutes.
well, 2 hours of talk.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe we can listen.
It doesn't matter if he made any mistakes, right? He played with his heart and with joy, right? He's
Yes.
totally different when the camera's on. I tell you, when he's playing music and there's no cameras, he's smiling the whole time. Trust me. Good job, brother.
Well, let's hear it before we celebrate.
Even we're not celebrating, but you're all gonna get it, even if he doesn't upload it. That's first take.
Let's listen.
You don't
back.
need the Tom mics. The room mics are great. Hope you all realize that this is actually fun doing this.
Now he's having fun. Before it was crabby.
Yep. Imagine dealing with a drummer every month. I'm a bass player.
Imagine dealing with a bass player engineer every day. Why?
I think it's pouring rain outside right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Say goodbye, Phil.
Bye, Phil.
Okay, clap.
Take one talking bit for a monkey's own business. Hi, friends. Okay, that was a monkey's own business. Cyril won't let me do another take, so we had to go with the first take there.
It was great.
He liked the first take. He liked it. Yeah, this is a song that I really love to play. Haven't played it in a very long time. And it was actually something that I got inspiration from when I went to Knott's Berry Farm one time when I was a kid. And I was a kid, I don't know, I was 17 or so. And I went to Knott's Berry Farm and I saw a show. It was a show about roller skating chimpanzees. I've always been a fan of chimpanzees. And you remember that show, Lance Link? You ever watch that show? Anyway. The music on that show was so great, and the drummer, they had a live drummer, and the rest was like recorded tracks, even back then. And the drummer was burning, man. I remember sitting there going, after a while, I stopped looking at the chimps and I started looking at the drummer. And I'm just flabbergasted, and it was so great. And I went up to him later after the show and I said, man, you sound amazing, dude. Wow, crazy. Turns out that guy was Chad Wackerman. So I've always wanted to do something like this that's kind of like maybe almost, would fit in a show like that. Very happy music, something energetic, and that way you can almost see, the chimps on roller skates and doing the show, right? It also can be like a music cue, something, a jingle, a commercial. Those types of things that you play on are extinct, obviously. But in my era, we did a lot of jingles and stuff like that. Not a lot. I didn't do a ton of them, but there was guys that did every day, 2, 3, 5 jingles a day. You remember that time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's what the piece is all about. It's got all the things that we talk about regularly on the lesson site, all the phrasing ideas, all the technique ideas, and it's something that you can get a lot out of when you play this type of music, right? There's a lot of reading involved, I don't know if you can see, but I have my computer here because I have to see the solo section's got all those hits in it, and I didn't have it exactly memorized, so I have to turn around and once in a while look at it and remember what's going on. But you might recognize that phrase, those interested in rhythm. The phrase during the drum solo is the 3-bar cycle. It's a 3-bar cycle phrase, and something that you'll hear in a lot of jazz and a lot of music, fusion, maybe Latin music, and so check out those hits again, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And go back and watch the 3-bar cycle videos, of course, and you'll start to recognize the rhythm. What else? It's a really kind of a Latin-y piece, a mixture of samba and in the solo section, I went to more of an Afro-Cuban feel because of the tumbao, you know, and yeah, there's in the intro, well, through the whole song, the percussion parts, there's the monkey drums, and the monkey drums fit perfect in the song. The monkey drums, that thing, you have a little like drum, and it has two little balls like things tied with strings to the center, and you twist it like this, and it hits the drum, and it's really cool drum. And the other parts is just the conga parts that I programmed all those parts, and I programmed and wrote this whole tune. Okay, so the piano player on the solo section is actually Matthew Fries, a great pianist in New York, and he did that solo. And I honestly did not play that solo. That's a killing piano solo by Matt Fries. One of the best things about this song is that it's a lot of fun and it's so, energetic and fresh that when you play it, it makes you feel happy. You're just like in a good mood all the time. And it's very uplifting, I would say. The samba parts and the funky parts all mixed together well. And if you have an Afro-Cuban vocabulary or can approximate it, then you can have a lot of fun inserting that stuff in the tune as well. I wish I had some cowbell parts for it, but I think it just works well the way it is on the cymbals. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. And well, that's what just happened. First take of this tune. I think I'm going to keep it just so you guys can see reality of the situation. And everything I do, I'm leaning on everything I know to pull a song like this off, okay? Cyril, you have something you want to say?
Yeah. So, am I in?
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in. Let's talk about what it was like production-wise.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause this is cut, whatever. Done, we're still rolling, whatever. Basically, production-wise for you, we just basically set up, mic'd up, listened to the tune, decided what we would do for this tune.
Yes.
Now, your procedure, for me, technically, it was basically keeping the drums as natural as possible.
Good.
Yeah, we both agree about that.
Yeah.
Now, we've been studying different techniques of mixing to go to different types of music. But to your personal music, you prefer natural sounding drums, right?
Yes, absolutely.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the jazz kick, tiny little thing. How do you make it get through? You do drum and bass a lot.
Right.
And the one thing, we were talking to all our friends who have experience with that, and it's how to get the drum and bass kick to be big.
Right.
And what we discovered this week is how to get it big is to let it breathe.
Yes.
And also the arrangement has to let the kick drum breathe too.
Right.
And the music too.
Yeah.
Now,
how do you go about doing that when you think of miking the kick drum? You want to see?
Yeah. Okay. Cut 3. Keep on talking. I'm gonna get a chair.
Okay.
Keep on talking.
What's interesting for drummers, for every drummer, is the knowledge of miking drums. So I'm very fortunate that I have Cyril on my team here because he is really good with miking and his cables sound amazing.
Don't say mine, say our cables.
Okay.
I know.
Our cables sound amazing. These cables are made to order by Cyril, okay? And
By the family. Anyways, simple to say, I'm not American, I'm Canadian. It's us, not me. Anyways, am I okay in the shop?
yeah, you could get closer if you want. But then you're not.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Never get a bass player or drummer too close.
Yeah.
So where were we? We were talking
about miking if we're gonna
production.
mic the bass drum.
You had questions.
Yeah. So when you approach miking the bass drum, you have two mics in there, one on the outside, one on the inside.
Oh, I'd have 5 if I could.
Okay.
Yeah. But for this, strangely enough, people, this is going to be in the next series about technical miking of drums and how to get the best out of a drum. Is we found something that is ridiculous, and all our drummer friends said no way, and it sounds great to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually sounds like the kit.
Yes.
Which is hard to get, right?
Yeah.
The room mic, yeah, it's beautiful. The overheads are great, but the room mic's almost not on because the room is so active.
Right.
But a little bit it helps. But the kick drum on the inside, you normally have a D112, and then you'd have a like a 40, you'd have a fetch, something nice and big and condenser on the outside.
You have a condenser on the outside. That mic right there.
Yeah, but it's not one people normally go for.
Okay.
You go for a nice Newman or something like that. And even though we have access to that, it didn't sound right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and the inner kick is going to typical. We got a whole selection from vintage to modern, and I chose the one like depends how many likes this video gets. Then we'll really reveal the secret.
Right.
Everybody laughed when I said, "I'm using this on this because I'm tired of trying to make a small jazz
Right.
kit sound what we're referring to now with a process kit naturally." Blue cable. This is for people who are even interested. It's the red cable on the inside and the blue cable on the outside. The blue cable gives you a bigger sense of bass.
Okay.
The red cable has some kind of like enhanced compression feeling to it. It's just a microphone reacting to capacitance and resistance, but it sounds great. You get this tack from the inside. You get the attack from the inside, but you get the body from the outside. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have no idea red cable, blue cable, but
No, but you know what I mean.
when he says it, it sounds great.
No, well, what do you want from your kick?
Well,
Because you're sitting in the wrong place, right? You know that.
there's different things that you want from kicks, and it depends on the music and the size of the kick, and I think Cyril has a good idea on how to get the correct sound for the sizes and the kind of music. So that's why I'm bugging him to
be on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, to be on the camera and explain what he's doing because
How's my hair?
the hair looks great, man.
All right. Same shirt. I got 20 of these shirts, people.
Yeah,
Trust
me too. This is the same black shirt. I've got 5 of these.
No, actually, you don't want to be in here with us. I promise you. But the one thing I wanted you to talk about more, because it's kind of dumb me screaming over the camera. Yeah, it's basically, I understand people really like to learn technical parts about drums and how to do the different fills and the theory of it all. But the one thing that we talked about, it might be off camera, it was earlier, but it was like, Phil, you played with music, you played with fun. I heard you stop thinking.
Right. Yeah.
And you said, like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
Okay, you're not totally satisfied with this track.
Yeah, I mean, for any drummer, you think you can always do better, So
And it's true, you could do better.
yeah, maybe not.
Oh, that's very true. That's
Yeah.
happened a lot of times
Yeah.
to me. Tracking drummers, they're like, okay, punch me in there. And I'm like, the song is withheld inside this first take we did or second take.
Yeah.
Many a times, people, trust me, I don't know if you have this experience, many a time with proper warm up and proper understanding the song and subconsciously and consciously and having your tool set ready, the first
Yeah.
take's the best.
Absolutely.
Almost the sound check's the best.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to be careful and not overplay on sound check
Yeah.
because it can ruin the vibe.
Well, what you sound checked was the first 8 or 10 bars,
I just
and the solo because of levels for me.
right.
And you were like, "Oh boy, that solo
Right.
was good."
Yeah, the solo I did on the check just for levels was nice. It was good. But anyway, I was lucky enough to get a good solo this take too.
And did you notice? Like, this is what I noticed, but tell me if I'm wrong. The beginning of the song, you were like going, "Okay, get ready," and you were like preparing yourself for the progression of the story, right? So you're kind of like reading to a kid. You're like keeping your breath together and going da 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 da.
Right.
And you have to have dynamics not in your playing, but in your heart.
Yeah, totally.
Does that make
Totally.
sense?
Yeah,
To a
because
drummer?
it all comes out of your stomach. Let's say, in general, the time, the feeling, it all comes from here, not necessarily from here. So when you're preparing to do a track, you have to get in that creative zone. In that mystical energy place where art is born into, and come from there.
And so I really felt like when I was listening to it, you see me, I'm always right across the room from you.
Yeah, he's always.
And if I'm
behind
not,
the camera.
if I'm like this, it means I'm sleepy, and I'm just like making sure everything's okay technically. But you saw me today, man. I was like reading the book with you,
Okay.
and what happened after I'd say the first third of the song, you just started telling a story, and when the solo came in, I think you just went, "Fuck it, I'm sorry." All children should be in bed by this time, anyways. Yeah, but you really, when you started the solo, I didn't feel any hesitation.
Good.
even though we talked about it beforehand.
Yeah.
And of course, you're building up the story because the solos, like when the big bad wolf goes, more to eat you,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
whatever. And it's the exciting part, and you're looking for the woodcutter to come in. All those things. It's the climax of the song.
Right.
And basically, you took it. Man, you can imagine what I'm going to say next, but I won't. But you really took it into a way that was just fluid, without thought, and just ride the wave.
Right. Well, I learned a very important lesson for anybody who knows Howie Shear. He's an amazing trumpet player in L.A. He's a monster player. And when I was a kid, I was studying with him, and he said, I kept trying to. I mean, we're talking about 35 years ago or so. Jeez. And I'm trying to play one of his charts, and we were recording it at my school, the university, and he's like, "Man, why are you trying to make musical history in 2 bars? Just play the music, It just don't feel like you gotta like everything. There's so much pressure that you gotta, in 2 bars you gotta impress Chick Corea or something, or whoever, or even yourself. Don't try to make musical history in 2 bars. Just be in the moment and whatever feels right after you, of course, have your musical techniques down or knowledge. Whatever feels right comes from your stomach. You play that. You don't try to cram everything into the first 8 bars or into every song. You just go in the moment and feel what you're playing, and that should be generally the right take.
Well, in my opinion, as the bass player, which is the least and most important instrument,
Yeah, yeah,
you agree, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the least and the most.
yeah. Well,
No. Let's say it. Like a bass can make or break
absolutely.
live or recording.
Yeah.
That means, but also if it's not there, nobody misses it.
Well, I miss it.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But truly, the drums for me, like, it would be so much easier to have a studio that did not have to cater to drums. Yo, it's so much easier. Like most.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just plug in.
the acoustics of the room,
Right.
the gear count, all that. But for me, the one thing I love about recording drums is if you can get drums right, you can record anything.
Yeah, totally.
Because the drums are every frequency that is required within it.
That's right.
The composers I work with, like film scores, classical music, they're like, recording drums properly is the same thing as recording an orchestra.
Yeah.
There is no
totally.
difference.
Right.
And hopefully, on the next period, like our next sections coming in, like probably 2025, we're going to be recording you in a soundstage. That's my dream, to record Phil completely in Atmos.
That'd
On a
be amazing.
soundstage, a movie soundstage.
Yeah.
Because it will prove my theory of
Right.
recording drums is like recording an orchestra.
Right.
You got to think of the weird thing is that the conductor is in the middle of the orchestra pit. We're an orchestra, the conductor is a little bit off from the pit,
Right.
which is really fun because, yeah. But I really find that drums, as much as I see music as a triangle, like a music track. And the strange thing in rock and roll, the drums would be on the foundation and the singer would be in the front.
Yeah.
Everything else is complementary.
Yeah.
I always felt that was the worst way to do production
Huh.
because what it does, it divides the band up.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
puts the importance on pop culture, where
Right.
the singer becomes this icon,
Right.
and it puts
I agree,
it puts a major pressure on the vocals to carry the song.
I agree, yeah.
Whereas without the drums, the whole thing falls apart.
Right.
Like Bonham, perfect example.
Yeah.
I can, like, this is all with all due respect, I can listen to Zeppelin without vocals for hours. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a derogative way.
No, I know what
I
you
love
mean.
what he does, but what I'm saying is that for me, drums are this weird combination of orchestral, but fundamental. But the most important thing is the drums sing,
Yeah.
and I call it lyrical.
Yeah.
So if I ever work with a drum, that's why me and Phil got along from the moment we met. This is
Sometimes.
no, oh man, people, the behind the scenes would be an education in studio life. And in friendship, it's really important to be honest, to be
Yeah, totally.
working together in a way that what is the common goal? Just yesterday, we were both like, what do we want?
Yeah.
Yeah? Regardless of finance,
Yeah.
what do we want in our lives musically?
Yeah. Totally.
And the one thing we wanted was, that all the steps we've taken to get this far will actually benefit us in the years to come,
Yeah, totally.
not frustrate.
Yeah.
And I really find the one thing about drums, if you're obviously a bunch of drummers watching this, there might be like 1, 2 bass players. Yeah. Hey, we'll get that going. Bass channel
Right.
is that the drums are the most fundamental and lyrical part of the music. And if you're a drummer, what he said about don't try and make history win 2 bars is that you want to sing when you're on the drums too.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And if whatever genre of music you're playing, remember Dimas, yeah, you talked to me yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he actually, what?
That's the second time.
Hey man, cymbals in the way. Something wrong with your cymbals, Phil.
They got holes.
I know. What happened, man?
Well,
Is it cheaper?
it's less expensive if
Yeah, it's less metal.
goes by gold weight.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, people. You're gonna edit this, or you're just gonna let it go?
Let it go.
All right. People, remember, whoever you are as a drummer, I've recorded every style of drummer, and the most important thing is that the drum sings.
Yeah.
Even if you have not a great studio, you're recording it wherever you're in school, you're like using the soundproof rooms, which
Yeah.
are terrible for drums.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what it's like practicing in there, but I think I go
Sucks.
crazy.
It's like claustrophobic.
But I think also it's like the movie Thriller when the girl
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
with the knife. But Thriller, no, Hitchcock,
Shining.
Shining,
Shining, yeah.
the axe to the door. Anyways, sorry. The most important thing, whatever level of drumming you're at, I would say, and you can correct me because you know if this is improper. First is to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's really important. Like, don't be frustrated at the level you're at, but figure out what you need to focus on to make what you wish to achieve possible.
Yeah.
Not achieve it, but possible to achieve.
Yeah.
Secondly, remember that you guys are fundamental. You girls too, yeah. This guy's got a problem with his genders. A lot of girls drummers out there. Yay.
There's a lot more girl drummers out there nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great.
Finally.
But most importantly is that you have to remember the lyrical part of the drums.
Yeah, I think that comes from being a musician most of all. You know, I mean, you have to put the emphasis on being a musician, not just a drummer. Now, I used to hate when people tell it's just a drummer, but that's a very bad derogatory way to talk. But the thing is, you have to know about music when you're playing. You just can't keep a beat and like follow the band. You have to anticipate. There's so many things about drumming that you have to have knowledge of music for that.
Respect.
Huh?
If not knowledge, respect.
Well, that probably
comes hand in hand. But
Yeah.
but I play with drummers who cannot solo to save their life.
Well, that's a whole other story.
But I'm a bass player who was because of my need to get away from classical music and then traditional pop. I just went into experimental, and it was just like one solo from the beginning to the end. Speed playing, weird noises,
Right,
doing anything possible. And then what happened, the same story as you, is that I got slapped across the face emotionally by someone saying, "You could be good, but you're trying to be great."
Right.
And I was like, "What?" And it hurt, but holding the beat. Not like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like lyrical is important, but there is nothing more important than groove.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean that's Cyril's obviously a musician. I mean, I've played with him he plays bass and we jammed together, and I could tell right away that he's a very musical guy and he knows about music, So I think in the beginning, a lot of drummers get caught up in just playing beats and thinking that that's enough, when it's never going to be enough just to be able to play beats. You have to be a musician and everything. I'm not saying that you have to learn piano and guitar and play trumpet and sax and compose it for an orchestra, but you have to be able to function as a musician, and that's very important. Everything he's saying is about being a musician.
Yeah.
So.
And it helps with your social life too.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not mine.
In the end, I had to explain to a composer that Phil's actually a nice guy.
Well, I'm gonna cut that.
No, he's not. He is a nice guy. Don't cut that out. No, anyways, I think we've talked about everything.
Yeah.
Is there any questions you got from, because you wanted to do a little bit more technical stuff behind
Yeah,
the scenes?
I wanted to. I mean, we talked about
Oh.
the miking and stuff like that.
People, one thing really important: the cables necessary? No. Glorious, delicious? We think so.
Yeah,
But wait, this is really important. Knowing how to use the gear that you already got is so important. There's mics in here that cost less than $100. There's mics in here that wouldn't even sell for $5,000.
right, right.
You know,
right,
and there's mics that you can't find ever again. They're not
Right.
being made anymore,
Right.
and they're not being used in the appropriate locations.
right,
But we understand how they work.
right, right, right.
Now, if I wish everybody had a chance to try the cables in their own personal setup to understand what we're getting frequency wise, that doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you understand the room, the mic, and the instrument, because you can get great sounds with what you already got. Of course, upgrading things helps, but understanding what you already have and applying it properly truly helps. We're like, just so you know, we're using SM57s on the snares right now because that's just the safe way to go. It's the standard way to work. We got SM57 on the bottom of the main snare because the side snares bleed enough, and I didn't want to pull out another rack of preamps. We thought, oh, good enough, and he got more snares, more snares, more snares. It's really funny. You'll see if you ever go and download the what's it called, the remote session download
Yeah.
thing, the samples.
Right.
We've got an old rockabilly mic on the outside of the. There's a nasty word what they call this mic, but it points towards the drummer's center, and it's down there at the kick level, and it's an old rockabilly vocal mic.
Which one is that?
I didn't put it on you. Know.
Oh.
That was just me experimenting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just different sound things. Another time you
Right.
can do is take a garden hose, wrap it around, and stuff in an SM57 or a small condenser mic, and just put that in. And you'll get this.
Wow. Right.
Yeah, but whatever. It's all about finding your tone.
Yeah.
And any mic properly placed. The dynamic mics have a reason, condensers have a reason.
Yeah.
But you can really learn with any mic. If all you had is SM57s for the
True.
whole kick,
True.
you could figure it out. Even for the kick.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel?
No.
Soul album?
Yeah.
Not So, Abiko.
I don't know.
SM57 for the vocals.
Really?
Yeah. With
kidding.
and you can't use headphones, speaker,
No
and then
kidding.
they put the mic, put the speakers up, record the song before tracking the vocals.
Wow.
Then he sings as he can't sing with headphones on,
Wow.
and he tracks it to an SM57,
Okay.
and then he gets the song done. Then they cancel the
Wow.
music out of the song,
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
and like so yeah. Of all the we did it many times. Like the mic, if you have a selection, play with them, but understand them is more important.
From the words of Cyril here
He's gonna
in
learn to
Bali, Indonesia.
Cyril.
Cereal. I'm going to call him Cereal from now on.
Maybe going, what was it? Cereal, Zorro, cornflakes.
How about Honey
Cecil.
Oats?
Honey Oats. Oh, I like that
Honey Oats, that's his new nickname.
because of what I do in a parking lot.
No.
Yeah, gotcha. Bye, everybody.
Cyril, my good friend, engineer here at Costco Studio.
You know what might work better for you? All the people who know me well enough.
Yeah.
Call me Surreal.
Surreal.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Because it comes close to Cyril.
Cyril, now he's suddenly French because he's told me he's from Canada this morning.
Canada rocks.
Okay, my friends, we might have this song on a separate video just for you to enjoy without us talking about it. And if you want to download this tune, the play along, you can become a member of my lesson site, which is part of the Working Inner Clock Part 2 project. You have the chart, you have the music without drums, and all that good stuff. So become a member of the site today. Only $200 gets you in the full year program. I'll be your personal drumming coach there. Email support, Skype, WhatsApp, whatever you need. And yeah, like that. I'm doing hand consultations too. And we have the Elite program and Malta Drummers Intensive Day coming up. All right, my friends. Peace out.